Black Ops 6 Season 2 is right around the corner, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Season 2 of Black Ops 6 and the 7 biggest changes you need to know about before you play. For those of y'all who don't know, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant, and let's dive right into everything you need to know. So first of all, the story of Season 2 picks up right after the end of Season 1, where we saw Troy Marshall and Savati Dumas destroying all the Lutazi crime family's paintings, bank accounts, and pretty much everything they held dear. But the Lutazi are coming back with a vengeance, putting out a multi-million-dollar open bounty for anyone who could kill Troy Marshall or Savati Dumas, including the Lutazi's personal hitman, Nocturne, the ninja assassin. But him accepting the contract wasn't enough, so the Lutazi gave him a head start, with him actually arriving moments before the open contract went live.
Cheap syndicate bastard.
And as we saw with this cutscene right here, he's kind of a badass. But regardless, Nocturne is the mainstay operator of the season who's trying to hunt down the rogue Black Ops team for the Lutazi crime family, but he's not the only operator we're getting this season, with Vortex, the new Black Cell Ninja operator, looking pretty cool, but he's nowhere as cool as the operator we can buy in a bundle this season, the Terminator, which includes both Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the original movie and the Silver Skeletal T-800 as character skins, which is interesting because we already had a Terminator bundle in Cold War, but anyways. Alongside these new characters, we're also getting some really cool new weapons, perks, and attachments this season, and the first new perk we're getting is Slipstream, giving you faster base movement speed at the cost of not having tactical sprint. Now, as far as weapons, Call of Duty kind of bait and switched us. They started off by telling us an iconic SMG from Call of Duty Zombies was returning in Black Ops 6. And if you're like 90% of people, you probably thought this was going to be the MP40. Nope, it's a PPSH-41 SMG, which I'm okay with because this SMG was great in Call of Duty World War II, and it was pretty good in Vanguard for a period of time. But we're also getting the Cypher 91, and if you were to dream in your wildest dreams a cursed gun, this is it. I can hear the spirit of Mikhail Kalashnikov turning in his grave looking at this thing. However, when you pick up the TR2, you will feel the spirit of Unitol pushing you to fight back against the MPLA, with Call of Duty's renaming of the classic FAL, which everyone remembers from Theoric Victory in Black Ops 2.
Our journey to victory has begun! Death to the MPLA!
And in case you didn't think this selection of weapons, this update was weird enough and random enough, we're also getting the Fang 82, a Singaporean LMG, which, if you're like me, you didn't know Singapore actually made weapons. But regardless, Call of Duty is bringing some cool attachments this season that will make you feel like Rambo. First of all, we're getting the Belt Fed attachment, which gives you an ungodly amount of ammo that you can fire until the barrel of the LMG overheats, giving you a ton of ammo you can basically dump downrange and basically roleplay as Rambo or Terminator, which, speaking of the Terminator, that's a whole other thing I'll talk about here in a minute with a brand new event, but anyways. But first, the Rambo roleplay wouldn't be complete without the explosive tipped bow and arrows. Except in Black Ops 6, it's not an actual bow, it's an underbarrel attachment, and bonus points if you shoot down a helicopter with it like in Rambo 3. We're also getting a full auto mod for the AK-973, which is already a hard-hitting burst fire assault rifle, and this mod is going to make it pretty hard-hitting and might shake up the assault rifle meta, but the mod you won't be using is the binary trigger for the Tonto 22 submachine. It fires a bullet when you pull the trigger and let go of the trigger, which is kind of, to me, odd, but if you want to complete the Rambo look, you need to use the War Machine score streak, which this time fires 3 burst grenades and has a 30-round magazine. But while all of this may excite you, if you're a multiplayer or zombies fan, you're going to be even more excited. First off, we're getting 3 new multiplayer maps at launch. We're getting the Bounty map set in the high-rise that we saw in the Season 2 cinematic. We're also getting a dealership, which may be the most controversial map because it is a map filled with cars. And if the cars explode like the Santa Sana border crossing from Modern Warfare 2, we are in trouble. But anyone who's a fan of the Black Ops series will be a fan of the newest map, Lifeline. A smaller yacht which definitely took a page from the classic Black Ops map, Hijacked, using a lot of the same kind of styling and design choices, but no seasonal update for Call of Duty is complete without a new game mode. But no seasonal update in Call of Duty is complete without new game modes. First is Couples Dance-Off, which is bringing back the typical 2v2 gunfight game modes to Call of Duty, as well as Third Wheel Gunfights, which is a 3v3 game mode that they're bringing back for Valentine's Day, where you and a buddy can go on a date, and your other buddy is just kind of hanging around. We all have that one friend, let's be honest here. But anyways, the classic party mode gun game returns, which is great. At 3 a.m. with your buddies after you've worn yourselves out from standard Call of Duty multiplayer, which itself will get a little more exciting this season with the new game mode of Overdrive, which gives you stars for kills based on if it's a standard kill, 1 star, a headshot or melee, 2 stars, and 3 stars for executions or takedowns. But if you collect 12 stars in 1 life, you will unlock Overdrive, giving you double score for your team with every single kill you get. Now, this will be an interesting game mode, though I'm gonna be honest with you, explaining it out loud sounded very complicated. But anyways, there's a bunch of more game modes and multiplayer maps coming at the mid-season point, but we'll talk about them when we get to that point. I want to dive into the new zombie stuff popping off here in the next 2 days. First of all this stuff is coming at launch of Season 2. We're getting the new map Tomb, which appears to be a new variation of the classic map Origins, and interestingly, the Tomb was the original name for Origins in Black Ops 2 before it was changed to Origins. But regardless, this map is set in a dig site once discovered and partially excavated, but is now the site of a zombie disaster. And interestingly, this map has a new wonder weapon, or should I say an old wonder weapon. The Ice Staff will appear to work same as the original Ice Staff from Origins, and will be the new wonder weapon with this Call of Duty map, the 2. But this is the only staff returning on this map, which brings up the question, will we find the other staffs later on in different zombies maps? Because that would be awesome, but that would also add a lot of context to the story and add a new element to it. And alongside the new map, we're getting a new Perca-Cola. The new Death Perception Perca-Cola, alongside its new augments, will actually allow you to see enemies through walls, including the zombies' new Shock Mimic, which is as scary as it sounds for Call of Duty's Zombies mode. But alongside the new Perca-Colas, we're also getting 3 new Gobblegums. First off, we're getting Dead Drop, which is an epic Gobblegum, allowing you to get higher drop rates of salvage and equipment for the next 5 minutes. The Modified Chaos, which greatly reduces all ammo mod cooldowns and lasts 2 minutes. And Quacknarock, a new whimsical Gobblegum that zombies move around with in rubber ducky inner tubes, and it lasts for 3 minutes. And personally, that's kind of cool, because I remember it from Black Ops 4 and just absolutely loving it running on the map 9. But anyways. Now, Warzone got really no major changes this season due to the overhaul of the game system I talked about in a different video, but let's go ahead and dive into the events we're getting this season. First of all, we're getting the Terminator event, where you can collect skulls to unlock event rewards.
Skulls for the Skull Throne! Blood for the Blood Gold!
But personally, I want to see that iconic T-800 stepping on a human skull scene from the first Terminator movie when this event launches. Regardless, we're also getting a new Shadow Hunt event to help expand the seasonal story of Black Ops 6, giving us a little more context on this season's villain, as well as some cool exclusive rewards. And later in season, we're getting a St. Patrick's Day event, but not much has been revealed on that one quite yet. But if you want to know about the complete overhaul of Call of Duty Warzone, click on this video right here, and until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.